Hey there, I'm D'grey Ashton, and just decided to do an introductory video today because I've been way behind the scenes, and I just felt like it would be nice for people to get to know me, get to know who I am, where am I coming from, and where am I going with things and all that kind of jazz. So I got a list of questions that I'm actually going to go through, and trying to trying to answer some questions about me that other people might find interesting, and all that. But by the end of this video, you get to know who I am, where am I going, where am I coming from, what am I all about, and all that kind of jazz, right? So the first question on the list is, what is your full name, and what is the story behind your name? So my full name is actually Ashton, and but my name D'grey Ashton, it got a story behind it. So it's a pretty much funny story, basically. So the story behind my name, D'grey Ashton, is Gray is actually like what I thought I was when I was growing up, because I found myself, in between like a black culture and a white culture. So I was trying to figure out okay, how do I identify myself? Because there's like the blackness to me and a little bit of white culture influence and all that kind of stuff. So I was like, you know what? Black and gray and white, they do make out gray. So I was like, you know what? So my name is Gray. So Ashton was my second name. That was the name after my father and all that. So yeah, so that's why I came up with the name D'grey Ashton. So basically, that's the first thing on the list, first question on the list. And the second question on the list is, where were you born and where did you grow up? I grew up in Zimbabwe. I grew up in Harare. I grew up in Chiweshi. I grew up in Bindura. I grew up in a part of my life I was in Waterfalls, a part of my life I was in Maputo, a part of my life I was I grew up in Harare though, in Zimbabwe, I mean. So I think if I were to, really, I think explain some of that, I feel like in primary, mostly I was in Harare and Chiweshi, then later on Bindura, and where I did my high school and all that kind of jazz. I think those are the main places that I grew up in. Up until I came to South Africa, started a career, started a life, started everything else, study and all that kind of jazz. So the third question on this is, what is your favorite food? Favorite childhood memory? My favorite food. Why am I going with favorite food? It says, what's your favorite childhood memory? My favorite childhood memory, it's got a lot, but I'm just gonna pick. I'm just gonna try pick the one that dominates the most, right? And I feel like, let me just say, I remember everything about my childhood. I think if I were to pick one, I remember when we left Harare going to Chiweshi. I feel like that's one of those memories that I had. I didn't know what I was expecting, but I just felt like whatever we're going into is actually something interesting, basically. Boy, was I right. My entire life I spent, not my entire life, the time that I spent in Chiweshi was about the most exciting period of my life, So I think that's why I hold on to that memory, us leaving home and going to another home, thinking and also aware that I'm leaving town, going back to the rural areas and all that kind of jazz. So yeah, it should be a lot. So the fourth question on this is saying, do you have any siblings? And if so, what's your relationship like with them? I do have siblings. I do have two brothers and a sister. Yeah. Our relationship, it's very good. My brothers, they love me, and my sister, she loves me to death. I love my sister. I love my brothers. We got a very good relationship going on and all that kind of stuff. So the fifth question, what are your hobbies and interests? My hobbies and interests, I think my number one hobby is fishing. I love fishing, literally. Bait fishing, not fishing in the sea and ocean, all that kind of jazz. I don't like that. I like fishing in the dam, on a calm lake type of thing. That's my vibe. On a calm lake, on the dam, whatever the case might be. But on a boat or off the boat, each whatever way, I love fishing. That's one of my favorite hobbies. My interest, I'm interested in business. That's my number one interest. I think business is what dominates, I think, 40% of my life, I guess, 40% to 60% of my life. So yeah. So now, what is your the sixth question is like, what are your favorite? What's your favorite book or movie? My favorite, I got a favorite book which is like Rich Dad and Poor Dad, and I got a favorite movie which is Interstellar. So the question goes on, or TV show, and why? The story about Interstellar, it's okay, about Rich Dad and Poor Dad. You know, like it kind of like you know, like it centered the idea of I think business, or you know, like wanting to be, you know, like a self-aware, not wanting self, I think wanting to be, you know, like financially, you know, like sound, you know, financially well, and I feel like that's why I like the book that much. And the way, the reason why I love Interstellar is I got two movies actually. It's like Interstellar and Iron Man. Iron Man for me, I think it's more about the technological part of him, and also wanting to save the world. Yeah, I feel like that's the reason why I resonate with Iron Man, and also the reason why I love Interstellar is also about the technology, and also wanting to venture outside of like what we know, and wanting to go outside of what we know. And even I see the same resemblance between Iron Man and Interstellar, because there's someone along the line, you know, like a person who's willing to say like, man, I'm gonna go against all odds. You know, like in the movie Interstellar, there's a part where there was like Lazarus missions, and literally, you know, like people died. You know, like literally, no one was being expected to, you know, like to come back to life or something like that. But people still went on with those missions, which is like a huge sacrifice. So I think that's more or less the reason why I love that movie. So the seventh question on this is like, are you a morning person or a night owl? I'm a night owl. I don't like waking up early in the morning. I like to work way too late in the night or something like that. I feel like even since I was in high school, when I just started like my career in music and all that, and a little bit of business and all that kind of jazz, I named one of my companies Time 40 because I think when I would think like I should go to sleep, each and every single time that I thought like I should go to sleep was around about like I think it was about 20 to 1. So that's hence why I came up with the name Time 40. Then Africa, it's just like one of those. So yeah, what's your go-to comfort food? To me, it's satay, fish, some chamolia, and beans, if there is. You know, that's my favorite go-to food, go-to comfort food. If I were to, somebody knows that I'm not okay and they want to make me feel good, they can make that for me. The person that made that best for me was my granny. You know, my granny, she was good at this. You know, making fish. I think I love fish. Why? Okay, this is the reason why I love fish. I love fish because I used to go fishing when I was a kid. So growing up fishing, I used to go fish. I used to go to the dam, even by myself with friends. I used to just like go out there. Sometimes we should just meet at the dam. I would fish, then I would bring fish home. Each and every single time I went fishing, I always brought fish home, and my granny would make the fish and all that kind of jazz. So that was pretty much exciting for me. So the next question on here is, do you have any pets, and can you introduce them in your video? I wish I had. I wish I had. Right now I don't have any pets, but I grew up with a lot of pets. I'm a dog person. I'm also a cat person because I love cats. I love dogs and I love cats, and I love pet fish. You know, I just know why I love pet fish. I love pet fish as well. And if I were to, okay, the other question here is, what's unique? What's a unique talent or skill you have that your viewers might know about you? I'll say I'm a being a music producer, you know, like that. Okay, that might not be unique because there's a lot of people out there that can make sure I produce music. But what makes me unique? I'm just trying to figure out like what makes me unique though. I think I'm just like scratch that move, so you can check it out a little bit later. Share a memorable travel experience on or a dream destination you would love to visit. In some type of way, I would actually want to go to Indonesia. I mean, but I think the most unique, the most memorable travel experience that I've had was traveling from Zimbabwe to South Africa by road. You know, because I feel like I didn't expect what I was going to see. I didn't expect what kind of landscape I was going into. By the time that I got to South Africa, like it's like a whole landscape shift. Like I was used to, like flat grounds and all that kind of jazz. Like up north in Zimbabwe, you have these really flat surfaces and all that. But when I got to South Africa, I think it was my first time seeing the ocean, and it was my first time seeing like valley type of places where there's like people literally live in, like places that are, I don't know, the geographical, like alignment of everything just like kind of shocked me, and I was like, wow, this is beautiful. So this 12, whatever it's called, 12, the question number 12 here says, discuss your educational background and any significant achievements or challenges. To be honest with you, like I think there's a little bit of significant, I would say achievements, which are like, I believe that I was a very beautiful, breathing kid in class and all that kind of jazz, because I feel like in my entire primary, I was a bit of like a top student, like literally there was, I don't remember me coming second in primary. I think even some of the people that are going to watch this video that I went to school with, they'll be like, yeah, I was one that guy, basically. So I feel like for me, that was that. Until I went to high school, got introduced to, friends, and introduced to music, and music to the better part of me. Like I started focusing on that and that alone, So what inspired you to start a YouTube channel? What inspired me to start this YouTube channel is to like communicate with my fans, and also like for those that would be willing to, like follow up on the journey, because I'm literally building my business in public. So there's a lot of insights that I'll be doing. There's a lot of insights that I'll be actually like giving to people and all that kind of jazz. And there is quite a bit of like I think communication or something like that. I would actually like want to get feedback from people. I would actually want to get like know what people think about what I'm doing, my productions, my music, my business, those type of things. So I just want to have conversations with people and all that. I also got a podcast that I do. I'll be putting links to those, like in the near future. And so, what are there any role models or influencers who have had a big impact on your life? Okay, there's quite a bit, right? There's quite a bit, because there is career-wise, which is people like Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne has had a very, very big impact on my life, and yeah, because I think even me wanting